I was a police officer for 25 years, and this is the only unsolved issue I had. And it was very frustrating because you want to take care of these families, and you just keep hitting a brick wall.
Good evening, I'm Arlin Bynum. It's been 20 years since a Big Spring man went missing without a trace. With no leads, no suspects, and contaminated evidence, the family of Arlin Bynum has been left with no answers on where their loved one is. In tonight's special report, we're looking closely at the evidence and hearing from those closest to Arlin, hoping that someone comes forward and can help solve this case. The story of Arlin Bynum's disappearance began on August 14th of 2003. Arlin was out with a couple of friends at the San Franciscan Bar and Restaurant on East 3rd Street in downtown Big Spring. He hasn't been heard from since that night. Rumors circulated that Arlin left the bar with another man. Till this day, no one has identified who that is. His truck was found parked across the street from the bar 2 days later, still in the same spot. Arlin has not used his cell phone, credit cards, or accessed his bank account since.
I went to other bars and talked to the waitresses and to the bartenders and stuff when all of this happened, and nothing ever came out of it.
Rumors flew for years. Usually the same names were involved, still involved today.
We did polygraphs. There was like 2 people that failed the polygraph. One of them, I believe, knows something about the case. The other one, I think, was just a fluke thing. You know, I don't know if they're scared of the people who really did it, or if they just decided to go to their graves with this information.
I think he was looking to be accepted and make friends, and either it was a hate crime because he was gay.
He was ashamed of it. He didn't want to be that way. He kept saying, "Mother, why did it have to be me?" You know, I had no answer for him.
Or it was drug related because he did like to party, or maybe he just owed somebody some money. I don't know, but I truly believe that somebody murdered him.
Investigators even searched Arlin's apartment and found no bloodstains after an illuminate search. Reports also show whatever evidence, if any, was found was compromised by the local lab and was unusable. The man who lives there now says he is familiar with the case.
I am familiar that he's been missing for 20 years. I know I've been told there's suspects possibly, but beyond that, I don't know. I just hope they can find him to give the family some closure. It would be sad if it not, because I believe in justice, and with justice comes getting caught and paying the consequences for it.
Reports show investigators combed through nearby fields, pastures, and even emptied an oil field battery, but have yet to turn up any solid leads. The Texas DPS aircraft looked at several areas in the county, along with using four-wheelers. Detective Jim Ryder, who was assigned to the case at the time, interviewed more than 100 people looking for answers. But there was one constant rumor involving Arlin's suspected death.
Arlin's remains were hidden in an abandoned well, and we don't know whether it was a water well or a gas well or oil well, whatever. But there was one that they actually took the cadaver dogs out. They either drained it or pumped it, I don't know, excavated it, and they found nothing, unfortunately, so it wasn't that one.
It remains a mystery what happened that night, but everyone does have their own theories.
Part of the reason is I think Arlin is probably buried somewhere, or else somebody would have, hunters or something, as usual, would have found his remains.
I always have hope that we're going to find him one day, but I don't get my hopes up whenever they bring in the cadaver dogs or the digging equipment.
You know, I know there's some people that know. They're not saying. I've talked to the people that know. I just don't know why these people would keep that kind of information to themselves, especially 20 years later.
Arlin's court-ordered death certificate was made on May 15th of 2008. An interesting point to the family because the cause of death is listed. But with no evidence or remains found, how were investigators or those involved in filing this sure of the way that Arlin died? The date of death is listed as August 12th, but the date of injury, August 15th, adding another question to the minds of Arlin's loved ones.
We just want to give him a proper burial.
Arlin's father died with no answers. His mother is hoping to bring her baby home to get closure herself.
Please, please tell us where Arlin is at so we can bring him home and put him to rest before I die.
Many people in the community don't want Arlin's case to be forgotten.
We thought after 20 years, whoever knew something or was withholding information would feel more comfortable this far in the future.
20 years ago, money was really tight, and there was a big reward out there. I mean, at one point, it was $10,000 that my family put up, and nobody spoke up. That, to me, says that they're scared.
I think the only thing you can do is go back and start re-interviewing all those people and then maybe take direction on who we thought knew something.
The family did hire Tom Finley Investigations to conduct a private investigation into Arlin's case. They refused an interview with us. We also reached out to each person listed as a suspect in any report on Arlin's disappearance. The only response I received was from a local man who at one point Howard County deputies searched his family's property for any sign of Arlin, but ended instead in firearms charges. He sent a statement saying, quote, "Police continue to harass me and my family once again about a person we never knew in this town. My condolences to the family of that guy. I've prayed numerous times that they figure this out so the family can have some closure." We reached out to Big Spring Police as well, who declined to speak with us about the case. If you do have any information on this case, you will stay completely anonymous. Reach out to or Big Spring Police directly. There is a reward available for information on Arlin's whereabouts.